Hey, I'm Rob Tatro from robtatro.com. Thanks for joining us. Today we're talking about the world famous RESP, the Registered Education Savings Plan. Now it's not for everyone, but it can be for some people. And there are a whole bunch of different factors that debatable whether or not they do apply to you or not, and maybe you're not sure if you should have one. Do your first dollars go towards your RESP or do they not? Let's tackle a few of those questions right now. So you just had your first child. You're now in a position, someone told you about it, you probably got a letter in the mail that says you are eligible for a grant. So the key for that is the government wants you to put money aside and to put it aside and save it for education. So you open an RESP account, you should be opening a family RESP account. Whether or not you have 1, 2, or 3 children or more, you want to have a family RESP so that each individual child is able to use the different grants from the other siblings. It's a huge pro, very little cons or no cons. You should have a family RESP. Now, should you be contributing to your RESP or should you be contributing to your RSP or your tax-free savings account? That's a very good question. But first of all, the RESP, how does it work? For each child, you can put $2,500 per year, and the government will match 1/5 of that, or $500, as a grant. So I put $2,500 in my child's account. The government will add in $500. Boom, we're at $3,000. If you missed a few years early on, you can catch up. You can do 1 year of catch up per year. So in theory, if you had a 9-year-old and you never contributed to their RESP, you could double contribute for up to 9 years. So you can go back 1 year. Now there are maximums as to how much grants you can get in your career, $50,000 of grants, and there are also maximums as to how much you can pull out early on in the RESP, and there's a whole bunch of rules with respect to how the taxation is. But in a nutshell, the way it works is the contributions can actually be pulled out tax-free to the subscriber, so in this case myself, or in the beneficiary's name, so my kids' names. And the actual growth and the grant, well, they can be pulled out and they are taxable in the beneficiary's name. So the idea is generally the beneficiaries will have significantly less income than their parents. So my kids, when they're 18, probably they're not going to have a ton of income, maybe a part-time job, so they're in a lower tax bracket. They got that money absolutely unequivocally free, right? It was a grant. Now we are using after-tax dollars, and we could pull out after-tax dollars for myself. So the issue really is the growth and the RESP grant. So the grant and the growth are the two main factors that you're adding. Now if you do have a family trust, if you have a situation where you're in the ultra high net worth and you do have to use some other expenses, or you need to maybe offset some other expenses, there are some people that the RESP might not make sense, but for the majority of Canadians, they make a ton of sense. Now, the other aspect as well that we want to cover here is, are you better to put in the RESP or the RSP? So that is a fairly, it can be complicated, but in a nutshell, you're getting that 20% tax-free, compounded tax-free growth, pullable on the way out. Not liquid though, right? Because you're pulling this money aside. It's going to be in an RESP for an extended period of time, whereby if you put it in the RSP, you actually get the deduction today. So the liquidity is almost the same in both, and the tax-free account gives you the best liquidity. So not everyone's got the same situation. Everyone's got a very, very different situation. Talk to your tax expert, talk to your investment advisor, talk to your portfolio manager. This is a situation where you do want to get right. The government's giving you all this free money. You want to take advantage of it, provided you're not hurting your own personal situation down the line. Bottom line, if you have non-registered assets that are sitting there accumulating dust and gaining like little to no income, it makes a lot of sense to put them in an RESP. That's it for today, folks. I'm Rob Tatro from robtatro.com. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. You will get notifications when I put new videos up. Get some comments on here, get some likes, and get some shares. We always love to hear from you. Thank you.